G'day guys, welcome back to another stream guys. This Mother's Day, we're doing some Inside the Mine, some games here. So let us go, we'll start off this lobby. Who have we got in chat there? Alright, it's good to see that we've had some players waiting there. Big shout out as well, real quickly, to Bruno for doing the thumbnails these past few days. Bro's a viewer of the channel and a big fan apparently, and he's absolutely been killing it there, so big love to him. See, we've got Pirate in the chat. We've got Bry, Rooster, Holy, Nana. Shout out to all of you guys for joining early. Let's go and see here. I'm going to open up the locker. Just finished an episode. We just got a crown win there with 14 elims. It was absolutely sweaty. That was kind of crazy. I did not actually expect to win that one. So some really great players there. Just really excellent work by everyone involved in that lobby. So really excited for that one to go up later today. G'day, Speeding Cactus. Good to see you, bro. Kind of really do like this skin, but oh no, we're getting into a game. Go and head on into it then. Right, what are we all up to today? Where are we all from? What time is it for everyone? Do we have some from Australia? Do we have some from America? What are we all doing? We've got Georgia Boy Boomer there in the chat. G'day, Georgia. Type of drop zone do we have here? We could go maybe Sandy for this one. I feel like Sandy's always a very safe bet, you know. It's definitely one of those places that has an awful lot of loot. Definitely a bit of action as well. But yeah, very exciting. 12 seconds, of course, to go in. Couple of players there. Hello. Alright, I think we're ready. Alright. Let's go and do this. Gamer Bry's in the lobby. Okay, we got one of the viewers in here. It's good. I'm the teabagger, Holy says. Okay, good on you, bro. Good luck, Holy. Holy's got the crown there as well, we can see. So let us go now, guys. We're going to be dropping on down here. I tell you what, if there's going to be a POI I haven't really landed much of this season, it's going to be Frigid. I feel like this is just one of those places that is very diabolical with, I mean, the ice. It's, you know, pretty hard to traverse terrain there. But I don't know, am I the only one alone there in not landing at Frigid? Do you guys land at Frigid? I'd be interested to hear you guys' thoughts. G'day, John Best. Your videos have helped me win a lot more crowns. Much appreciated, especially for being a newer player to FORTNITE. You're most welcome, bro. I'm happy to help in any way. Alright, I'm going to heal up behind, of course, this wall here, guys. We don't want to make ourselves an easy target, especially as we are in this sort of starting stage of the game there. Whilst we might only have the WinMag SMG, it's still going to be something, you know, and at the end of the day, that's all you really need. Alright, we should have a cheeky chest behind this staircase. Get some extra heals. Why not? We've got the pistol as well as that Chaos Reloader, so this is a very comfortable start. We've got Rocket Boy in the chat. G'day, Rocket Boy. How you going, bro? Go for a cheeky chest up top here, as well as, ideally, there we go, the Iron Pump. Also really good to see that we get some bunkers here. This is definitely going to be one of my issues, guys. You know, when you're sort of going around in these games, in the close to long-range fights, but especially in all of them, it's, you know, do I want to carry bunkers? You know, when do I use these at different stages of the game? And I feel like definitely late game, I'm more of a fan of using the bunkers then, mostly because probably use the shockwave to really chase this player there. I'll grab that loot. Well played to channel. Grab a cheeky chest there. The Nemesis making an appearance. That could be quite nice, but I tell you what, if I'm really going to be after anything, it's going to be getting a gold pistol. And I mean, you guys are going to see this in today's upload anyway. I have just done a game there. 14 elims, guys. Some really great players in that lobby. Unfortunately, managed to sneak up on them a few times there, so... but I make the point, you know, I make the point that the gold pistol right now is arguably one of the most overpowered guns in the game. And it seems to be related to its bloom, or rather their lack of, you know, so it's definitely something that I feel like is worth upgrading. You know, I'm not typically going to go out of my way to upgrade weapons. But if I am, it's going to be for the pistol. John Best says, I can't play Fortnite right now. My controller has bad stick drift, and everywhere I went were sold out. I had to order from Amazon. That's actually quite frustrating. I totally get that, though. I was playing on console, guys, when I first came back to Fortnite at the very start of Chapter 5. And it was definitely a bit of a learning curve there, a bit of a learning experience. But stick drift got me as well. I had to... I don't know where I ended up finding one from, but oh my god, and the controller prices as well were a lot steeper than I had initially thought. Now, you don't really get that with PC, you know, or at least you sort of take it for granted, at least at some stages. Try and just go for the reload there, of course. Old mate will be going on to him surely enough. Wait for one of them to go down for the shockwave. Pick up some extra shocks there. Why not? Well played to them, though. Nixie will be going down there. Going through Fortnite withdrawals, John says. Fair play. Dude, what do you say at the end of your videos? Now, that is a fantastic question. Oh, wow, the Eradicator. Why not? We'll take that for now. At the end of the videos, guys, I do a bit of a play on a old commercial here in Australia. It's a Garnier or Garnier, I think you guys say in the States. It's Take Care Garnier. It's basically just the same logo. Little advert. Alright. We're looking quite sturdy in terms of our hotbar and loot. One thing I'm a little bit nervous about, of course, is going to be using the Shadow Precision just because I'm not entirely comfortable with it. But then again, at the same time, you know, it's going to be something that I feel is pretty beginner friendly, especially when you guys consider the sheer amount of... There's some more splashes there. The sheer amount of lack of recoil that this gun has. Now, it's really, really nice, really consistent, good damage, and they just as well buffed the actual magazine on it up to 28. Right, so when this gun first came out in Chapter 6 at the very start there, it actually had a much lower or less magazine size, which was a little bit diabolical to play with, and it meant that you could shoot it at players and get them relatively low, but by the time that you did, you would run out of ammunition, and they'd be able to just, you know, out DPS you with another item, and most of the time you'd have to either weapon switch, you know, close range with maybe a shotgun, but if you were using it at range, you were sort of just, you know, left out in the field, not really having much else to do there, so... It was a much needed buff, and I'm pretty sure they actually buffed it in Reload. Alright, towards the middle or end of last year. And I remember playing with it then and thinking, this is really nice as is. You know, it was a bit of a shame that it wasn't like this from the start, you know. And it is good to see that Fortnite does listen to a whole lot of feedback there by the community as well. They're not just going to be... Alright, as we can see, we can actually track him there. Drunk's going down. I might as well try and say g'day here. We'll see what loot he's got. Nana says it's an old shampoo ad. It is. Yeah, shampoo. I forgot actually what they sold. It's shampoo, conditioner. They do... Oh, wow, the golden nemesis there. Fructus. Yes. What else we got? The pistol's my favorite weapon, John says. Paul says, John, not that hard to clean the control to fix the stick drift. YouTube video will help you out. It did me. Oh, wow. That's actually, yeah, true, actually. I remember, I think I used isopropyl alcohol with a Q-tip to sort of get in between there, but I think eventually I did that for a year, and then at that point I was just... I had to stop making... I had to go out and get one eventually. I think it got a little bit too sticky somehow. Or, like, rough. I think I did it wrong. We will need to reload there. Still marking that player, guys. Of course, this is what the Valid Precision does do best. Right, we will need to make our way into this zone. Right, rather sooner than later. Oh. Good damage there on that player. I kind of want to go for them, especially because they've been rather aggressive and rather fluid with their movement as well. You know, when you're going up against these types of players, you really want to try to eliminate them sooner rather than later at that end game, because you got to think about it, right? If you leave these players as well to the end game, the zone's going to be smaller. There's going to be a whole bunch of other people there as well. Go back around the car for the right shoulder peek. Going to be trying to heal up there. I want to peek from the left side now. And then we alternate back to the right. I think he's trying to scout us out there. We could also just remove this wall entirely. That's also going to be 100% within our possibility there. Now, he does seem to be running away to the side there. And we can continuously deal some nice damage here, most certainly from afar. And given the way that the zone is sort of positioned, we could probably, I think we can just get him. I'm going to go for the car inside the main building there. I'm not a massive fan of bullying players like this, guys. You know me, I like to get a move on relatively quickly. Alright, yeah, that's enough for me. Alright, I'm not going to bite off more than I can chew. Let us get a move on here, guys. We go up to some high ground. We go and position ourselves. Great, if we could make it to a servo, that'd be great as well to try and heal up this car. But, you know, whatever the case. We've got Arda in the chat. G'day, Arda. Alright, what do we got? Speedy Cactus. Do you play on controller? I used to, bro. Chapter 5, I played on controller. And then in Chapter 6, I saved up some money and got a computer there. We have a gold fishing spot here. It'd be really, really nice to get, especially if we get a harpoon gun or a pro fishing rod. Now, when you guys are going for a fishing spot like this, it is going to be within your best interest to not drop your weapon for it. Alright, I'm hiding inside a cover here. I can see actually old mate is coming up around the bend right now. I'll take his car instead. What are we getting? Just away there. Sportskin, Twitch TV going down. Well played, bro. What's he got? The crown there. Any pistol? I would love a pistol. Definitely wouldn't say no to it. I'm going to try and heal up real quickly with a little bit of that chuggy juggy. Get a move on here and maybe go check out that building just over to yonder. So go and switch our items like that. And we're going to get a move on here, guys. What time is it for everyone right now in the chat? Let me know down below. We do have a couple of shocks, which we could use as well. But let's just go and get that sprint on there. Alright, beautiful. And making our way up top here. Here we go. Let's see what we can do. I'm just going to hide under here real quickly and change my stream there. Can hear an extra video there, a bit of an echo. Trying to find which tab is actually open that is playing it. There we are. Alright, perfect. We've got some players just around the corner. Oh. Holy. Close one, bro. Took us by surprise there. I'm going to try and make my way down to some cover here. Well played, Holy. Oh, mate's got the high ground up top there. I've got a bit of a guardian angel, apparently. This could be quite risky to go for the shields because, of course, guys, I do love using the splashes. Alright, but hopefully we should be able to find some splashes maybe over at the service station. So, let's go now. We'll get a move on using this speed boost, using this, should we say, infinite stamina temporarily. Be able to traverse over there a lot safer than the slower walking. 6:13 in New Jersey there for John. Right, it's just after midnight for Arda. Brewster rocking the 6:13 PM on a Sunday night. Very nice. This could be quite tricky, actually. I'm going to go for the big boys instead here. If we can find, of course, some splashes elsewhere, that'd be great. But I'm going to prefer these over the chugs just because it is going to be a lot quicker to use than that chug jug, guys. Alright, for the first, of course, couple of seconds there using a chug. Right, you're not going to be healing up anything. And I like to be a pretty mobile player. I'm going to go for the purple pistol, actually. This is really nice. We'll go and take this car and we'll go and rotate on out. 5:14 p.m. over in Houston, over there for Diablo. Nana says the same time as me. Okay, we got another Aussie in the chat. Very good. Piff says, yo, bud, I've been watching your vids and slowly implementing some of your tips. Sometimes I get aggression-based tunnel vision and have to slow myself down. Fair play, honestly. I totally get that. I have to do the same. It's pretty common, bro, but that's really good. I'm glad that you've been watching these. Alright, he does take, of course, the high ground there. I really want to try and get a gold pistol here, especially for this late game. 6:15 for Piv, 7:45 in the morning for Sev. I'm cautious. I want to hop out, but I just want to double check he's not just waiting inside for me to do so. You know, we've got the car, which can act as a form of cover. Alright, it looks relatively safe. I could be wrong. We could most certainly be dead wrong there, but for now it looks like we will be good. Good to see you, Jackson. 6:16 over there in Michigan. RB Pyre, we've got another Queenslander. G'day, Ivy. Yeah, that's my old stomping grounds. Current stomping grounds, to be fair. We got some bunkers for this late game as well, so I'm actually quite happy with this. Now, I would have liked to get some more splashes there, but considering the last vending machine doesn't have any, our best bet's probably going to be to grab this high ground up top here. We've got a good bush as well. Now, typically, I would just park this car a little bit further up from this bush, because if you park it right next to it, it can sort of act like a signal flare, you know, to other players in the game. Alright, but you know what? It doesn't seem to matter all too much, considering we will be moving on again really soon. So let's go and mark our new position in the map. We will have Humble here, guys. I like the cliff faces and the main building of Humble to sort of take for late game. We do have the Rift we can also take over to the right, but you know what, I think that might be the play here, guys. I think this very well could be the strat, right? As if we go for this sort of Rift, we can use this to rotate on in. Right, perfect. We've got Charlie saying 4:16 p.m. from Mexico. Okay. If I get in your lobby, don't elim me, Seth says. Good morning, Sora Lopez. How are you today? Fair play, Rooster. Try and, of course, not land directly on the glass there, guys. We do want to double check. Is there any sort of bunkers laying around? Alright, old mate, of course, has that low ground. BJ going down with the mythic there. I was going to say, is that the mythic pistol? Double mythic, very nice. If we had a bush nearby, I'd actually go and take that mythic, and I'd go and hide it in the bush, because that is a devastating mythic to have. I feel like I can speak for everyone when I say that there. Alright, old mate, flying on in. It's just kind of crazy sometimes, and you guys will see this if you do watch the video I got coming out in a few hours. This gold pistol, the lack of bloom that it has is just completely insane. I do need to reload the gun. A little bit of full damage there, but it hurt nobody. Making my way around the corner, we'll go and reload the main gun. See if we can't get some cheeky patch-ups. Any splashes? Ooh. The player actually just around behind us there. Wrong button, butter. Alright, just trying to make ourselves a bit of a formidable target there. I want to make sure that, hey, if that player knows that we're here, you know, thinking that we've got a shotgun, or should I say a rocket launcher, probably isn't the worst strategy in the world. A little bit deceptive, but it could work. Oh! Well played to them. I was going to say, I wanted to check to see if anyone had picked up the mythic Voyager there. I didn't Anyway, look, well played to them. Let's go and spectate the rest of this game. Who was that? Dante. Good catch. He did end up picking up that mythic. And this is why, guys, if you do see something like this, I recommend dropping it somewhere else. Trying to hide it somewhere. Alright. Start the play again. I'm assuming they'll be going down very soon. There we go. Game of Bry. Well done, bro. Bry was one of the very first... well, he was the very first people we ever actually did the collaboration video with. So, shout out to Bry there. Getting some revenge for us. Might just spectate Bry here. See him get the win. Alright, is he going up against a Scuba Jonesy? No. Of course, the twin hammers there. There we go. The Eradicator. Putting in the work. Some tidy damage. Very quick reload speed as well with this gun. Definitely something that is going to help out a whole lot of players there. Close range. Chasing up with these twins. I think this might be game. Well played, bro. Good stuff. Hannah says, morning butter, loving the new thumbnails. What prompted the change? Good question, actually. I got an email from one of my viewers saying that they were a big fan and that they do thumbnail design, and they offered to send me a few there. Just not too sure why, out of appreciation, I guess. So I said, look, I'd be happy to do some tests, you know, with it, see how the analytics go next week. But yeah, they've been absolutely killing it lately and going above and beyond there. So big shout out to Bruno. I'll be probably putting him in my descriptions going forward this week. So yeah, just trying something different, trying to see, you know, do we get some extra views? Do we get some extra subscribers? We had a bit of a plateau there. You know, I think we had a pretty busy February with about 1,000 subscribers that month. You know, another 1,000 in January and so on. We're just kind of growing like wildfire. But now it's sort of plateaued. So I'm trying to think, you know, how can we take that next step back up there and, you know, grow together as a community. Jagon says, Aussie, g'day, bro. 200 ping. Yeah. Bloody well done, bro. Good on you, bro. We're going to go do a domain here. I think this might be the strat. Let's go and head on down and have a quick water break. Thanks, Jackson. I appreciate that, bro. And he's doing really, really well. It's really impressive stuff there. Alright, let's go and head on down right now over to domain. So, do we get the boss here? I think we actually landed here last game, but you know what? Second time's the charm. You know what they say. I feel like having a sort of a loot path, guys, with any of your drops is going to be within your best interest. Alright, and so what that means is I like to land somewhere where I have some form of these barrels, alright, able for us to grab relatively off a drop. Alright, we're going to be hiding behind that corner temporarily, actually. Inside the bottom level, if they are, you can actually shoot through these doors. And I think that was one of the good things about the Simpsons mini-season that we had, guys. You know, was that Fortnite was sort of experimenting, alright, with all these different mechanics, you know, and the windows. You guys will probably remember all the windows were actually breakable, and this was kind of a new thing for Fortnite to explore. And that was really exciting to be a part of, because it was like, a lot of, there he is. He's actually down below there. Some gloves as well. Just waiting for him to go out through the front of the building there. Go for the shockwave to really give us that extra oomph. Reloading midair. Alright, it's going to be someone up top here. Try and hide inside from those other players. We get some gloves as well as some pizza. I'm going to quickly eat these guys. I love the pizza. Alright, I feel like the pizzas are going to be some of the best forms of shields this game. However, alright, I'm going to be carrying these splashes because I just feel like the extra health is necessary. You know, especially when you guys consider just how much mobility is in the game right now. The odds or the likelihood that players are going to be able to chase you down and deal that damage is just so much higher. Very close call there. Alright, let's try and adjust our hotbar not under our enemy's footsteps. We are a little bit low on ammunition as well. Alright, so I've got a couple of choices here, guys. We can either slow rotate back around to the pizza. Try and see what type of ammo boxes we can pick up along the way. Alright, but I want to try and do this cautiously. I don't want to really be making a lot of sound. Because we know that this player has that recon scanner. So we know, okay, yeah, this guy, he's probably going to be trying to find us, try and scout us out. Alright, so we'll just make our way around to the backside here. Staying as high as possible if we can, and looks rather safe, so... Oh no, there he is. Another pizza actually awaiting us out the door there. I think he's right below us, so... Movement might be a little bit glitched, but... There we go, we can now make our way inside. Hopefully get some form of bunkers there, could be quite good. I'm going to go for the pizza real quick. I don't really want to look this gift horse in the mouth. We'll grab some pizzas for the road here. I can hear old mate coming up behind us. I'll have that shotgun out. What I'm really after though, going for the porta potty. I think that goes out to one of the back sides of these buildings. I don't quite exactly recall which exit, but you know what? I think I'm actually going to go grab these shocks there. Perfect. Alright, in terms of gloves, we can grab the 19 there. And there we go. There's some ammunition. So, now things are going to be looking a little bit more up there. Alright, we're going to take this rift and we're going to go head on out now to another POI. Almost missed the live. Drift says, shout out to Drifter. Shout out to you, bro. How you doing this morning? Sora says, my 10-year-old niece, Shannon, says his and that you're her favorite. Okay. G'day, Shannon. What do you think of the Infinity Blade speeding set? Infinity Blade's great. I like that it gives you extra health and shield, as well as that what looks to be regeneration. I could be wrong, but from what I saw, regeneration. Definitely something that is going to give a lot of players who know how to use it correctly an exceptional amount of edge. But, you know, we're just going to take up a couple of weapon slots there, which is a little bit... I don't know if I can really make that call. You know, I feel like I love my double mobility. I like my single shields. And I feel like when it gets to that late game, 100%, I would really enjoy dropping one of my double mobilities for, you know, some extra cover like bunkers. But you know what? If you guys know how to use that Infinity Blade, you can do some really devastating things there to a whole lot of players in different lobbies. So, really, really good stuff. Thanks, Georgia Boomer. Appreciate it, bro. Hope you're doing well, Mama Peach says. Well, nice to catch another stream. Good on ya. Happy Mother's Day, Mama. Right. See if we can grab some more ammunition from these players. He does drop us the golden there for the pistol. I was actually going to upgrade our pistols, so this is really, really appreciated. Alright. Let's go and head on down. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can actually get the mythic Thunderburst right now, and all you need to do is drag race a player. So what you do is you guys hop in both of these cars, you'll hear a timer, and then the lights start down, and then you race each other to the end there, and then you can get like a guaranteed legendary item, and then potentially the mythic Thunderburst, which is really, really nice. Alright, DNX Soul says, hi Butternutter, greets from Slovakia. Oh wow. G'day bro, hope you're doing well over there. What time is it for you? Currently 8:29 AM guys, as of recording Queensland time here. Alright, what I'm looking for is going to be ideally some form of, well, a shotgun. I would really like an upgrade here for the iron pump. So, we've got these sorts of, let me just go and run on through here. Now, if you guys can, of course, find a pro fishing rod, you're going to have an increased chance of better loot, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong there, but that's as far as I know. Alright, a little bit unfortunate there. Bring the car around. I did sort of go against the grain there in terms of what we said earlier, but you don't want to really leave your gun on the ground like that. You sort of want to have a bit of etiquette there when it comes to these weapons. I'm rather tempted to go for this player, but at the same time, he's going to be on the outskirts of zone, which is going to leave us an opportunity. Actually, I don't have any shield. Alright, now I feel a little bit more comfortable. Trying to decide how I want to play this. Do I want to go up top there Alright, for the Devil's Tower POI, probably. Alright, we got some high ground now. Looking a little bit more sturdy in terms of our positioning. Having a bit of an issue now where I'm crouching and I'm pressing sprint trying to walk and it's not uncrouching me, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on. If there's a bit of a movement bug in Fortnite now, if you guys have experienced that, do let me know down below in the chat. DNX says, off to bed, catching the train to Hungary. Normally watch your videos from Ireland. Oh, wow. Well, travel safe, man. Thanks for stopping by. Alright, he's probably going to come out the left side, but we don't want to hyperfixate. Yeah, wow, that movement bug is definitely going to get us killed later. I'm going to call it now, guys, because that is rather tricky. I think to get out of it, let's just practice. So I can't uncrouch with sprint. I think I've got to manually uncrouch and then do it. Alright, I can do that. That's nothing crazy. Alright, old mate is still going to be in that bush, which is more than fair enough. But one of the reasons, guys, why I do like Devil's Tower is because of all these heals you guys will be able to find. Alright, there he is again. We could probably try and rush this, actually. I just want to try and get off a little bit more damage here. Right, from that afar. And see what we can do. G'day, Solo. Good to see you, bro. Alright, there is going to be a car just down over yonder here. I wouldn't mind going to check it out because I do want to try and find some... Oh, no. Oh. Take the zip line there. Cheeky little shockwave. We can use the chug jug mid-air, guys. And we're going to be doing some crouch jumping to maintain mobility, as well as just overall momentum to get us out of that fight. But then additionally heal up as well here. Alright, we can now go for some high ground on top of the main building. Alright, beautiful. We've got the jump pad there to be able to get us out of this area. And a little bit disappointing that we're having that movement issue, but we will persevere, guys. We are not going to let this drown our efforts nor our morale. Alright, we've got the main rift as well with the dashes over there, and I'm kind of tempted to go for it. And, you know, just see, you know, where can we reposition that might offer a little bit of bonus or benefit there. So, got these dashes, we can get a move on. I have to uncrouch first, then sprint, Dave says. Yeah, fair enough. Drifter says the most annoying bug is the storm bug and the zipline deployer bug too. Really? I haven't heard of that one. Is the zipline deployer bug the one where it keeps knocking you off when you jump on it? I've definitely run into that one. It is... Well, I'm not a fan of it, I'll say that much. Trying to fly over the area here, guys, where we might have, of course, some cars. Right, I do know that G-Wagon spots do spawn nearby, especially down in that car park over to yonder there. But you know what? We got some of these dashes. Alright, we've got some good items. Alright, it's definitely been a crazy, hectic time here, but we've been able to get out of these situations as often as I'd like. So that's very, very grateful there. I'm very grateful and thankful for that. I want to try and see if we can get some splashes here. Alright, we'll mark that. It's going to be a harpoon gun. Dirty Nana. Finally caught a live stream. Hope you're well. I hope you're well too, Nana. I remember finding Nana in a squad game early last year, actually. Her and Mikey, we were a bit of a double trouble team there. So, good to see you, Nana. She's a streamer as well. I'm trying to get up to this raid up top here, but you know what? When in doubt. Alright, beautiful. We could also upgrade our shotgun there. But you know what? I quite like it. You know, I want to sort of conserve, alright, these rivalry tokens that we do have. I don't necessarily want to be going out of my way trying to spend them or get rid of them, but... Jagon, thanks for the super chat, bro. You only play solos. I do. I mostly play solos, but then I also play a bit of duos. So, my duo and I, we've gotten up to Unreal for this season. It's a different sort of game mode. I had to learn a lot. You know, I don't think they were very enjoyed with me trying to learn how to play as a team member rather than just, you know, a solo. I think in squads, that's where I need to practice a lot more of. I think squads is definitely going to be a different game mode than solos, but there's a lot of sort of strategies you guys can take from squads to bring into solos. Do I think there's going to be a lot of skills there that are transferable from solos to squads? Somewhat. You know, I definitely feel like that also has a lot of potential there, but for the most part, I feel like working together as a team, you know, ensuring there's a lot of loot sharing, but additionally using a lot of complementary items there, like someone grabs recon scanner, someone grabs someone else down below there. Oh, there's some really nice high ground up top here, guys, but I do want to rotate away into zone. Great show, man. What a treat. CC Goes Places says, thanks, CC. I've been doing some roleplay GTA 5 again. Okay, guys, if you want to see some GTA 5 roleplay, check out Nana. Love your content, Nana. I don't want to jump on this player. I feel like we need to anyway, right? We've got that zone moving. Oh, mate, coming behind us there. I want to make my way over towards this. He's healing up right now. Oh, wow, that movement is definitely going to be the end of me here. Try and take him inside. Oh, well played. Good idea there. That's okay with me. Well played to Dame to Fortnite, guys. Alright, that was a good one. We'll go into another one. Hopefully, we won't have that movement issue this time. When you're in a sort of situation like that, ideally the strat is to slide through the door and then turn your camera around to target at them. Fortunately, this didn't quite play out there, but whatever the case, that's a really good player, so good to see. They are actually running with the Infinity Blade as well, which is good to see. I know it's quite rare to actually see it. I think this is the first time I've seen someone run with the Infinity Blade in maybe about a week or so. Alright, so very interesting. I really like to use it in close quarter situations, and I think in a building, I just think it's way too fun, you know, to not use. You know, and that's when I had one go of it last week. I remember jumping into a servo there. There was a couple of superhero sweats inside, and I just jumped on him with that Infinity Blade and swung it a couple of times. It felt rather unfair, but I tell you what, guys, it felt really, really fun and enjoyable. You know, and I feel like that's definitely something that Fortnite does right occasionally, is going to be... Yeah, okay, there we go. Our movement's fixed again, so this is really good. Really hopeful stuff. GG's, guys. Greetings from Ukraine. Alex says, g'day, Alex. Hope you're doing well. I hope they bring the heavy sniper back in the loot pool, Dave says. Okay, we got some sniper love here. That's good. I do love the sniper. Jagon says, been subscribed for about 6 months. Never seen you live. I mainly play Reload and Squad 0 build. Semi-sweaty. Good content, mate. I enjoy your videos. I think that's Bri there. Gamer Bri. I appreciate you, Jagon. Thanks so much, man. That's really good to see that some of you have been following us for a while now. That's really, really heartwarming. What if you threw a shockwave to displace you? I think that's possible. Definitely. Honestly, Holy, I was very excited to get out of that game. That movement was really... the inability to uncrouch yourself can be really devastating, I think, especially if you're an agile player like me. That wasn't fun at all, to be frank. So I wasn't too keen on trying to play at that end game. But I think overall, yes, you've got a couple of options there. You could throw a shockwave out to knock yourself out of the doorway there, displace. The other strategy would have been as well to use a shockwave against him to knock him out. And maybe hold out my gloves and see if I can get into some glove-on-glove action there. You know, especially if I couldn't use my normal mobility there with this that bug anyway. I feel like that could have been a pretty good strategy as well to use in the moment. So I definitely feel like, guys, glove play is really, really strong at the moment. It's definitely something that is going to help a lot of players get a lot of wins if you know when and where to use it. especially with these dynamites here, these bouncing boomsticks as well. I feel like that's something, alright, that, you know, you're going to be able to deal a whole lot of damage to some players, especially in the close quarter sort of situations, you know, like this POI, like we are right now. You know, if there's someone at the other side there or inside a room, throw in some dynamite, you know, try and get them out of there in that way. Now, we do have some footsteps behind us there. I want to try and go for these heals, though, real quickly instead. Right, sliding, of course, around these corners. Trying to be mindful, guys, of where these other players are at. I'm going to go for that instead. I'm going to switch out our guns there, guys, if we do get the ability to. Holy, nice try, bro. Alright, we'll grab that one there. I'm just going to get a move on out of here because I did see some more footsteps. Alright, nearly got killed by you, holy. What do we got here? We got some more of these fruit baskets. There we go. We can grab some of these guys. The fruit baskets are going to be heavily underrated. If you are not using these, or at the very least trying to be mindful about where these are, you know, you really should get onto that. I definitely feel like there is going to be a lot of times out there where you're not going to be able to find any heals. Right? Where you might not be able to find a vending machine, for example. And it's these times where you're going to find, okay, you know, maybe actually the best thing for me to do here is try and loot up some natural heals, you know, natural sustenance. You know, whether this be fishing ponds, whether this be the fruit baskets, or here we go, some floor loot like bandages. Alright, they're all going to work together, one and the same, to be able to help you be able to sustain fights, get into more fights, and overall be able to win that game. So, we have this vending machine here. We've got a sizable amount of gold. I'm going to move around the corner here to this side. And what we're doing right now, guys, we're trying to use this vending machine as our natural cover. Alright, we have Sleeping Mantis right there as our rival. GG. God, I didn't got any shields in the roof. That's unfortunate, bro. Didn't even know you spawned there till I saw your weapon skin. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Well played, bro. Nearly got us there. Yeah, and that's the Thunderburst for you. You know, it's a really, really nice gun, especially considering it has pretty much perfect recoil. Alright, I would love some mobility here. There were some chests behind us, but you know what? We've got some of these splashes, but we've also got some of these bunkers. I should have gone for the... oh, there's some gloves right there. I should have gone for the patch-up service, actually, from that vending machine. I'm going to go for the power gloves right now. Checking around the outskirts of this POI, guys. Alright, we've got our couple of cars down below here to our left. Alright, we can try and stay here. There's actually going to be a player inside the Caesar's Palace. Alright, we are going to get a nice med kit here. Well played to Sleeping Mantis. Alright, we also should have a salute barrel somewhere around inside this building. I'm pretty sure. I could be mistaken. We'll take that instead, though. Daddy Laser says, bro, you're the GOAT. Big love from Ireland, old mate. G'day, bro. G'day to Ireland, a beautiful country. I think I had a family member just come back from Ireland. They said it was absolutely incredible. A beautiful place with really, really beautiful people as well. Just super friendly and just an amazing to the atmosphere there with the community, which I think that's a rare place somewhat. I don't know. I feel like it's... that's what I've been told anyway. I've been told that's a rare thing. In Ireland, they just have the best people over there. So, really, really jealous. Oh, okay. We got old mate. It's around the side there. Oh, it's Game of Rye. With the 3... Look at this. Oh, GG's, bro. Thank you so much. I appreciate the crown. Big shout out to Game of Rye. Long time fan. He's one of the original, actually. One of my original supporters. Alright, we got some shocks there we could use. Look, I really do like these bunks, but you know what? We can mark these on the map, guys. We can come back here later. We don't necessarily need to sort of hoard these certain items, you know, waiting or wishing and thinking maybe, you know, we don't have another choice. You know, we do. So we might as well pay a little bit of tribute here, a bit of homage to Gamer Bride. We'll go take one of his Lamborghinis here. I was trying to run a dealership, but okay. Well, you gave it a fair crack. It's great. It's great. No, you did well, bro. Oh, we got some action over to yonder there. On the outskirts of zone, I think going for these kills typically, guys, can be a little bit risky. Right, especially if we are going to be giving up some form of high ground. But you know what? We might as well go for it. Right, we'll see if we can't go and maybe third party this. Alright. We got to go pay some homage there for Bride's sacrifice, especially for his dealership sacrifice. Now, we do have Devil's Tower up towards our left there. Some loot down below in the ravine. Typically, you can tell if loot has been looted if the gold is still there. Alright, most of the time, guys, players are probably not going to leave the items or the ammunition, etc. Let me just restate that. Most of the time, guys, players might leave the guns, etc. there. But most of the time, they're going to be taking that gold. Right, everyone needs gold, guys. Alright, so if you see gold missing from loot, it likely means someone has been there. Alright, but if there is still gold there, well then people have likely freshly died. So if you're looking for a player, if you're trying to hunt them down, that can be a good little signal to you to go, okay, this is probably their loot, right? If the gold's still there, it probably means someone else didn't kill them, it was me. 500 gold for a Whiplash, 750 for an SUV. Really? Can you buy cars again? I wasn't too sure you could do that. Alright, let's have a look. Oh, I tell you, I'm a bit slow in the mornings. Alright, let's go up top here, guys. We're going to go and rotate around to the bend here. Alright, we are, of course, over at New Sanctuary. An interesting POI to be in. Alright, we've got some of these fishing spots here as well, though. And I tell you what, we're going to learn from our mistakes from last game, guys. We're not going to be dropping our gun here. Alright, we make sure that we keep our guns in our inventory. I've got a little rock here as cover. Alright, and ideally what I would like is going to be a legendary there on the iron pump. And if we can't get a legendary for the iron pump, I would really like a purple, or additionally maybe a Midas flopper. And you know what, whilst I'm at it, Santa, I would also really like to get a mythic. Oh, okay. Well, that works out quite nicely then. Let's go. We can go and pick up our gloves now. We'll get a move on. I'm very grateful for that. Alright, guys. We've got Daddy Laser saying, what have we got? I manage a busy bar full of hens night types and spent all day today telling them we got a purple on the Nemi because of your video. Love the vibes, bro. Never change. That's incredible. That made my day. Thanks, Daddy Laser. Appreciate you, bro. That's awesome. Alright, checking down, of course, to our left there for a G-Wagon spot. We're not going to get lucky, but that's okay. You know, guys, we did get very lucky with that iron pump pull there. We do, of course, have a service station still in zone, which we could go to. But what I'm really after here is probably just going to be something, anything. You know, another car. I'd take a Whiplash. I'd really take either. We've got some loot down there in the road. We can mark these guys with... For me, it's caps lock, but whatever you guys have as your marking key there will work just as well. Streamer loot, Georgia says. True, true. Very true, actually. Do be how it is sometimes. Best prices on the island, baby, Game of Rice says. That's funny. Alright, let's go up here, guys. Of course, we are going to have an interesting zone. Alright, let's have a bit of a pause, and we're just going to reevaluate here. So we know that we have a rivalry screen there and there. Car spawn here, here, and here. In terms of high ground, we've got the mountain we can go to. And then we've also got Pride Rock around there. Okay, this is the game plan I'm thinking we go with here. Oh wow, we're going to get lucky with the car spawn right in the front of this POI. We've got our splashes. We've got some bunkers there. I am going to pick these up, which might be a little bit risky, and you know what, we could very well come to regret this later in the game. But you know what, we've got a car. Alright, so does old mate over there. See if we can't remove that car from the game sooner rather than later. You know, if you guys do spot players having mobility, especially late game, one of the best things you guys can do Actually a player in the fields there. One of the best things you guys can do is simply trying to remove these items or these, vehicles sooner rather than later. Alright, checking back towards the left, guys, because that is where we know that last remaining player was, or at least one of them. Of course, now we are situated comfortably in that top 10. If you guys have enjoyed, of course, the stream so far, guys, make sure you do hit that like button and you hit that subscribe button. Alright, creator code. If you guys are going to buy something in the item shop, guys, it would really, really mean a massive amount to me if you guys could please use my creator code. Surely it's butter, it's just my name. But anything you guys do there does help out. And if you do want to support the channel that little extra further, it's not necessary, but if you guys do, there are always going to be these super chats right there for one-time donations, as well as the memberships there. So a big shout out to all of those guys who are members of the stream. I'm going to quickly go and pull them up now. That is Jahames, Awa, Stephen Howell, Vinyl Joe, Full Metal, Drifter. We've got Holy, Grandpa Willie, as well as Oimo Buster. So big shout out to them, guys. They are going to be members of the channel. Alright, we've got some nice high ground here for this side of the zone. We've got TLL Z in the chat. G'day Z, how are you going, bro? We'll go and make our way up around the corner here, guys. We'll go and see, because we do need to go over to zone. And just taking a little brief pause here. Got an interesting zone as well, as of that. So that's going to be really, really nice to go for. I'm thinking we could probably go up top, maybe towards this sort of high ground there. Right, there's a nice building around here. We can put down a bunker and capture for ourselves. Now, we don't have any shockwaves here, which could honestly be quite disastrous. However, we do actually have some bunkers here. We've got 4 bunkers, so we do have plenty here to use, as well as a new vehicle, thankfully. So let us go on out of here now, guys. We go and position ourselves in this zone. Top 4 right now, so 3 other players remain. Now, I want to try and identify. I want to try and identify where these players are. Where should I situate myself to be able to catch them off guard? Alright, we can park our car just up top here like so. Now, Pride Rock is not going to be in zone, and if a player does go to capture Pride Rock, then more than fair enough. I'm actually going to park our car a little bit of ways away here. I'm going to park it just over here. We can always use these dashes, to be able to try and capture these players elsewhere. But for now, this looks like a nice spot. Thought I heard someone on a zip line just over there, but I could be mistaken. And again, guys, we just want to be trying to find, where are these other players? Roughly, approximately, if there were players shooting. Well, bullet there should definitely be able to do it. Alright. Checking back over towards, of course, the outskirts of zone. This is where players are going to be coming from if they were still out there. And as you can see, we do still have one other player there. And that is going to be our rivalry. Alright, we know we have our rivalry left, and then we have one last player besides them. So we're not going to remain tunnel visioned here, guys. We are going to be double checking. Checking our back, checking our 6, ensuring that, hey, alright, if we're going to go up against a player, we're going to put up a fight. Now, they're jumping down to the low ground there, but they're still going to be out of that zone, which means they have to come back around this direction-ish. Alright, they could come in through that ravine there. And again, we have them spotted there on the map for the next 2 minutes and 50 seconds here. So whilst we do wait for them to sort of come up to an opening, we can sort of just try and focus and see, okay, where is this last player as well? We know where one is. We just need to find where this last player might be hiding or scouting around. Alright, the zone moving again here, guys. Let us go. Alright, we'll hop in this car. Almost going to the deployer method there. Heard someone hop off a zipline to our left. He could be inside this main compound right in front of us, which is going to be... Actually, is that in zone there? It is going to be in zone, and I can see someone has shot out a zipline. I want to remove that. I don't want to let players be able to get up top of high ground. Alright, let's go now. We'll go and take this car here, guys. We'll go and rotate it around to the side. Alright, there's going to be a nice little rift item there. Okay, we've got some nice high ground up top. Oh. Careful, guys. When you do get knocked around like this in a car, some players are going to use this time to shoot at you and blow up the car. That's honestly a really, really good strategy to incorporate into your playstyle. However, you just want to be cautious that if that does happen to you, your best thing to do is hop out of that car, reposition, go somewhere else, live to fight another day. Alright, they are going to be having a bit of a skirmish over there. We've still got 3 bunkers left. Alright, so this isn't going to be the worst thing in the world. If we did have those shocks, I would love to be closer there, you know, to be able to try and third party this, but honestly, I doubt they're going to fight each other just yet. If they do, that'd be great to surprise me, but old mate, of course, peeking out there for a moment. Fortunately, we won't be able to see him there, but oh no, there we go. Go for the reload behind cover. Go back behind the tree for this cover. Now they've got that low ground, but old mate's up high. Alright, Sasha, or the Dasher should we say, is opted for the redeploy again there. Probably going to go for the car, I dare say. Well played to Anonymous, guys. Well played to them. Alright, we've got the dashes there. I hear the zipline coming out around the corner. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how it's done. Well played to everyone in that lobby. GG's. Alright, that's a good one. Let's go and run it back for the 2 for 2 potentially. Take a quick water break here, guys. Let us go. Starting off the new one. We'll go and rematch here. I might actually go and change the skin. GG's, guys. Cool, but inside my stream video. First time seeing you live. Thanks, Mad Gamer. Appreciate that, bro. I'm going to put on my comfy skin. This one. Alright, there we go. Let's go and head on into another one here, guys. Well played, bro. GG's, Hannah says. Thanks, Hannah. GG's, Yuya. Thanks, Charlie, Dave, Brewster, Nana, Gara there, Gala, Drift. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, look, it's really exciting. Yeah, I think that's really exciting as well. It's always good when you get a game like that, and I feel like that's why the pistol is going to be really, really strong. It's going to be, you know, simply because there are a lot of situations there where you can out DPS even a lot of shotgun players. Yeah, there's someone in the comment section I see quite frequently who always speaks a lot about using the assault rifle there, the Nemi, as the primary, but then for the secondary, instead of a shotgun, they're actually going to be running with the pistol, which is really interesting. Boya there became a supporter. Thanks, Boya. Shout out to Boya, guys, 283. Thanks for joining the membership, bro. I really appreciate that. Did you call that your comfy skin lot? I did, Nana. It is my comfy skin. It looks comfy. You know, really, it makes me feel comfy. You know, I like to play with my duo and, you know, if it's been a bit of a long day or what have you, I put on this one. I try and relax a bit. You know, we've got the sweaty skins. You've got your comfy skins as well. I feel like everyone deserves to have a little bit of both, you know, sides of that coin there. What's your favorite skin? That's me, Drifter says. Is this you? Hey, bro. Alright, guys. Let's go and get on into it. We could probably go Riptides here. Pretty sweaty drop, straight off the drop. But it's a blue chest spawn. It's also going to have that potential for a mythic iron pump here, guys. Right, it's very, very... I'm very nervous. A lot of spandex around me. And I tell you what, a black spandex skin... They're some of the more difficult ones to go up against. Let's see in how Go and see how we can do this, guys. So, Elite Jules is my go-to skin. Nana says, okay, I do love the Elite Jules. She's nice. What's everyone else's favorite skin? Let me know down below in the chat, guys. I'm keen to hear what everyone's favorite skin or go-to skin is going to be. We're going to go for the pizza shop as always, guys. Try and grab some really good, quick and easy heals here with the pizza that does spawn actually on this counter. Too sure how many players landed with us, but it doesn't seem like an overly alarming amount. Now, if you guys are running duos here, what me and my duo do is we both each eat 3 pizzas. Fortunately, I got a little bit greedy there. And then carry, I believe, 1 pizza each, which is going to be able to give us both full heals off a drop there. And then additionally, you know, a cheeky little pizza for later on to use. So, really, really good stuff there. Alright, we grab some ammo. I should be grabbing the steak, actually, whilst I am on it. And we'll quickly go back here. We're going to grab 1 more steak, guys. And then we're going to go and try and do this lift. So, what do we think we're going to get? I think I've got the movement bug again. I'm just going to double check here. No, okay, we don't have that movement bug again. So, we are going to be blessed this game, guys. But we do have movement stamina. So, this is going to be something you probably want to try and get in the habit, guys, of ensuring you're mindful of, which is going to be your stamina. Okay, whether you're jumping around, whether you guys are going to be running around. Checking our side flank there. Alright. There's someone else towards the left. I could be mistaken. No. I'm just try and see if we can't finish this player off now rather than later in the game. Alright, he does drop us, of course, guys, some more heals there with that Chug Jug. We're at the Chaos Reloader in that purple variant, so we'll gladly go and grab that. I'm just going to have some water real quick. Alright, feeling a little bit more hydrated now. Let's go and check the chat. We're at Cotton. Cotton says, GG's, wouldn't let me chat on Brave browser. That's a little bit unfortunate. GG's, bro. Thank you for stopping by on a different browser. Going out of your way for that. I appreciate it. I love the pistol Nemesis combo. Drifter says, me, that comment's about... It's Drifter, guys. Drifter's the one. Bro, I'm keen to try it sometime. I'm starting to see the method to... Now, I don't even want to say it's madness, but... You know what? I feel like it's actually quite sane. We're going to get the legendary there for the Nemi. Alright, we've got the mythic here for this iron pump. Alright, things are looking really, really nice. But what I would really love is going to be a legendary there for the pistol. Does anyone know if the mythic pistol is still fishable there? I could have sworn that they might have removed it, but I swear I saw it the other day. Santa Brina, Lena Reyes says, is it Lino or is it Lino? Always wondered. Apologies for pronouncing that potentially incorrectly. My favorite skin is Mayhem, Drifter says. Okay, Mayhem's a good one. That is actually a good one. I do like that one. I play as Miku, Mama Peach says. I like that. You got to respect the Miko players, guys. Come on. That is what really, really nice skin there. Alright, let's go and see. We've got some action just around the corner here, guys. Alright, the G-Wagon out in the middle of the road. We get a cheeky shot off, but we don't stay complacent. We always want to be trying to remain as much of a moving target as possible. I don't have any shockwaves here, which could be a little bit disappointing. Oh, wow. I'm not too sure what happened there. I think he used a rift rifle against himself. And he ended up finishing himself with the golden pistol to celebrate. Okay. Well, well played to you, sir. I'm sorry about that. Alright, let's go and get a move on down. Well played to them, though. I feel like they tried to do what they thought was best. And sometimes it's going to work out, guys. He went up to that high ground, which was really good to see as well. You know, so definitely try to at all times maximize your use of this high ground and cover. Right, like that rock up top there. That was really nice positioning for him. Unfortunately, the gold Nemi is just going to be absolutely devastating Alright, for pretty much any player that comes into its crosshairs. Of course, you do want to tap fire with the golden enemy. I think that's some of my best advice there when it comes to that nemesis, guys, is going to be the tap firing. When you do get used to the type of delay there in between your shots, this is where you sort of get into that little bit of flow state. And you start to do some maximus, some of that maximal DPS there. Alright, so trying to get into that groove there, that rhythm with the Nemi can really be rather rewarding, and it's definitely a reason why it really does fight hand in hand to be my favorite gun for this season next to the pistol. So on that note, guys, do let me know in chat right now what your favorite gun is in the game so far for Chapter 7. Got some really good high ground up here. We've got Reputed Retread Zero as our rival. His old mate on top of the building. And then someone else is sneaking down below him there. Oh. Getting shot out from the side there. We might be going down a little bit earlier into the lobby than I would have hoped. But with 12 health left, guys, this isn't going to be the end of the world. Alright, we're going to double back. Alright, when in doubt, we do the triple R. So reposition, reset, reload. Alright, reposition somewhere safe, reload your guns, and then reset your shields. Alright, Drifter says the mythic pistol is called the pinpoint pistol. Still super low spawn rate, Retro Mikey says. I've seen it once in Season 2. That sounds about right. I think I've seen it about once as well, Mikey. We're going to go for the heal off inside this building here, guys. Alright, we do have a few barrels in the little hut behind us there, as well as some fruit and some mushrooms for that extra assistance should we need. Hannah says the Chaos Reloader and pistol has been treating me nicely this season. I'm going to go for the pizza here for the remainder of the shield. Reload this gun. We grab, of course, that main. There we go. Some mushrooms, of course, for the taking. Old mate is going to be right on top of us here. I'm not entirely sure where he's at, but he has followed us to this building. I just want to get a location on him. And then what I want to do is we're going to use what we've got best. Right? We've got this iron pump. Alright, we have also got this pistol. Someone behind us as well. Alright, let's try and separate ourselves. A little bit of teaming action there. Alright, there goes our rival. He did help us out a little bit there, so I'm going to offer him some thanks. Another player. Absolutely carnage. Right, try and grab some shield here. If there is any, we'll go for the reload. Alright, does drop us a med kit. We don't really need the med kit, but we can go and grab these minis. Alright, very, very nice. We also have some more gloves here. Brand new durability. Very grateful for that. Let's go and reload, of course. I kind of want to get out of here, though. I feel like we've definitely bitten off a little bit more than we can chew, but well played to all of those players. Some really good action there, guys. Great Vegetable says, yay, I caught you live. Glad to see you live streaming. PS, I love that skin. How good is it? It's really good, isn't it? I'm a massive fan. Alright, we got plenty of gold here to spend on these shields. That's quite good. George Boomer says the Thunderburst is going to be their favorite weapon. Jackson says it's the Thunderburst as well, which is... Honestly, I totally get it. Especially if you guys can get that mythic Thunderburst, alright, from the Sandy Strip POI doing the drag race. Of course, I'll be doing a video on that later this week, guys, so do stay tuned for that. But that is going to be an absolute menace. Alright, we'll do a quick little water break here, guys, as I do travel up this hill here. So I'm just going to tap on the auto. Alright, good stuff. Making our way, of course, over towards the sides of the buildings. Alright, there we are. Not much buildings over here, though, to be fair. I feel like I might be losing it. Alright, we've got the gold fishing spot down below. And again, I feel like every time I see a gold fishing spot, I'm almost tempted to, you know, chuck a line in and see what we can fish up there. Mostly just in hopes for that mythic in-point pistol. Alright, so we've got some players down below there. Oh, mate's inside the building. He goes for the bunker. Jumping back on out of here. Go for the reload. I don't want to fight here anymore, guys. We're just going to go and reposition right now. Shockwaving up to some higher ground. Put some action on top of the cliff. Going to be shockwaving away. I do want to sort of focus this player. Especially considering they've got a crown. Goes for the rift rifle. Oh. Alright, it's our time to get a move on, guys. We go for the bush here. Old mate's gone inside the main building. Now, this is where shockwaves are going to be our very best friend. Unfortunately, we don't have very much of them. Or actually, we don't really have any of them right now. Oh. Going for the shockwave just over to yonder there. Is that him with the gloves? I don't love chasing players like this. I feel like this could be rather risky. I don't want to just try and see, you know, where do we have the opportunity to be able to get some more mobility? And if not mobility, cover. So I'm looking for these bunkers. I'm pretty sure we left 4 bunkers inside of Sus. Alright, let's go and grab this zip line here. Make our way into this main POI. I'm not going to deploy. I'm just going to jump off it. Oh. And guys, he's on top of the water tower up top there. Okay, looks like the bunkers are gone. Very, very low. Oh. Unlucky there. Old mate footsteps behind us. It's going to be the bot. Again, I'm just trying to find some form of bunkers here. I just want a little bit of bunker. I feel like that's apparently asking for a little bit too much here, but that's okay, guys. We're going to remain headstrong. We're going to remain right head looking up to the sky there. All right, we've got our big boys. We could probably go for maybe actually the pizzas there. Just going to take this up top. Alright, that didn't quite go to plan. We've also got Pride Rock in zone here, which could be quite good to go for. But you know what? Here we go. We've got a car, and this car is definitely going to be our best friend. Solo Rider says the twin hammers. If I have a blue or better, I'm set. Nemesis AR to go with it. Action says, wow, way to clean up. Thanks, bro. Sup, Butter. Fan here from Mexico. Great content. Thanks, Ravenhill. G'day to Mexico. I've got a mate actually who's just left Australia to move to Mexico today. Go for the rockers cover. Focus T. I'm pretty sure they might be a viewer of ours. Sorry, bro. I'm sorry. He's got the mythic there. Well played to Focus, guys. Well played to Focus. I'm not too sure. Are you in the chat, Focus? Is that you, bro? Is that anyone here? They do have that rift rifle from before. Alright, we have some nice high ground here, but we don't have a whole lot of cover. Alright, I'm trying to think. You know, where should we go to be able to secure some of that? And I feel like Pride Rock might be the play. So irritating that everyone wants to run and not fight, Jackson says. True. Very true. It can get a little bit frustrating there. Alright, let's see what we've got around here. The black spandex skins always scare me. You get into a lobby and you're never too sure what you're going to find there. I'm in California, but originally from Mexico, Drifter says. Nice. My duo partner's from California. Alright, they call it the Sunshine State over there. I think they might do. They call Queensland in Australia the Sunshine State as well. Might be thinking of Florida though. Could be completely wrong there. All right, guys, let's go get a move on here. We do, of course, have this zipline deployer, so we're going to use it. All right, the riff rifle there as well could be quite good. But I'm not a massive fan, all right, of that sort of charge up time there. All right, if I was a little bit more comfortable with it, then 100% I would be picking up that riff launcher. So let's go and try and have a bit of a peek over to yonder here. Again, guys, we're just trying to see if we can find some form of bunkers. Jumping off that zipline early. Also going to have a slope truck inside here to be able to use. Alright, nothing yet. There's some floor loot out the side of this bush, but you know what? That's okay. Alright, that is more than fine, guys. And for anyone who is just tuning in now for the very first time, if you haven't already, make sure you guys do hit that like button. You hit that subscribe button. Alright, big shout out to all of you who have joined us today, who have given us those super thanks, who have joined the memberships. Alright, big love to all of you guys. As well as Bruno, one of our viewers who's been doing thumbnails with us this week. Great, massive thank you to Bruno, guys. I'll have to put him in my descriptions in future episodes, but bro has been absolutely killing it lately. Are those some bunkers right there? Not going to be a bunker, but you know what? We've got some nice little positioning here for some high ground up top. And I'm definitely going to use this to our advantage. Alright, trying to see, of course, can we spot these other players around this map? Alright, we've got a med kit over there. We've got some low ground beneath us. Alright, and we do have only 2 other players left in the game right now, guys. So, let's go and see. I think both, pretty sure it's Florida and Cali is the Golden State. Yeah, Cali is the Golden State, Drifter says. I don't know if Bruno is here, lol, but thanks, Bruno. I think Bruno might be asleep. But you know what, guys? He's doing absolutely terrific work. So hopefully he does pop into the comment section sometime soon. Because, yeah, a lot of thanks to him. Alright, we've got some nice cover here. I just can't quite tell where these last 2 players are. There's an NPC up there. But it's not going to be one that belongs to a player. It's going to be a hireable NPC, or at least an interactive one. Alright. Okay, might be time to get a move on here. We are going to go and capture this side of the building. We've got some nice high ground. Right, we've also got... Oh, there he is. And the gold pistol, guys, again, there's pretty much next to no bloom, next to no recoil with this gun. It's something that is completely devastating. So if you guys get your hand on a green, you know, if you are comfortable with the pistol, the best thing you guys can do is go and spend the gold to upgrade this. Right, it's really absolutely terrific. Now, old mate could be behind us there with the low ground. Okay. Try and go for the reload here. Gent, Caleb's or Celeb's going down there. Well played to you, Gent. Well played, bro. Took me by surprise with that zipline as well, actually. Definitely scared me a little bit. We've got one last player here, guys. Footsteps over to here. Make our way up around. High ground again. Reload midair. There we go. Well played to everyone in that lobby. That was a fun game. That was really good. Solo says, I noticed the change in your thumbnail. Looking good. Thanks, bro. Yeah, he's doing well, eh? It's really impressive stuff. We'll just be doing some tests with it this week. You know, we'll see how that goes. But if there's a massive boost in analytics there, 100%, you know, we'll be sticking with Bruno and we'll do some work there. So, all right, guys, have a quick water break as we do start this game. So let me know in the chat, guys, what is your favorite form of mobility at the moment? Is it going to be the gloves? Is it the Skyline deployer? Do we have any love for the Skyline deployer? Be very interested to know. All right, there we go. So, I think for me, guys, it's probably going to be the gloves plus the shockwave combo. Of course, they're not actually going to be shockwaves. They will only be the well, shockwave minis, most are calling them, but the overdrive grenades. All right, they won't be able to knock you into walls. They won't be able to knock you through sort of structures. Or really, as far as shockwaves, they might actually now, considering they got a bit of a buff, but shockwaves will always reign supreme there. So I'm very excited for them to get back into the loot pool. All right, Hannah says GG's. On a roll, Yuya says, thank you, Yuya and Moto. Drifter says the Skyline Deployer. Same with Holy. I love ambushing from above. Yeah, it's quite nice. I love the Skyline Deployers as well because you don't have to just jump off and redeploy there. Right, you can actually just sort of... what you can do is actually just jump off the Skyline, you know, and you won't redeploy. And when you're falling midair, going down to the ground, you're actually able to shoot still, you know, and use your weapons still, which I think is really, really versatile because it does allow you to, as Holy just said there, guys, you know, drop one down from above, ambush some players, and really put in the work, all right, which is really, really exciting. The gloves are a close second. Drifter says the grenades, but I do carry a deployer as well. Great vegetables. Fair play. Fair play. Cotton says everything else first, but I do enjoy the zipline too. Love movement this season. Movement's really fun, actually. It's really good this season. What else have we got? Drifter says, I like the shockwaves, but it's hard to use them with controller. Well, I'm not that good either. Fair play, bro. Fair play. Yeah, I think that's a relatable comment. You know, I feel like trying to get used to the shockwaves, especially if you guys are on controller, can be a little bit tricky. Definitely a curve there. But once you get the hang of it, you know, it's like riding a bike. So, Solo says the gloves, if you use the Skyline Deployer in the late game, you're going to get beamed out of the sky. I would have to agree with you, Solo, there. I think for the majority, right? That's like using the Skyline there. I typically would feel pretty nervous using a late game. Depending on the lobby, depending on the type of game I'm having, of course, I won't have maybe as much nerves as I would have in another game. But I definitely do believe that your best bet is to probably steer clear of the sky unless you are comfortable being up there. You know, and I feel like there's two different kinds of players, right, when it comes to the Skyline. You're going to have the Skyline Deployer players who can react really quickly, who know, you know, the certain tech in regards to jumping off, to redeploying, the certain heights, the angles, you know, where to use it, when not to use it. You know, these players are going to be able to really handle that risk really, really well, and they might get a bit of reward out of that there. You know, and then you've got other players, potentially like myself, who probably aren't going to be as confident or as knowledgeable on the Skyline Deployer, you know, and I might flounder a little bit when it comes to that, so... Anna says, overdrives for me, but I love the versatility of all the movement this season. Hit that like button, Holy says. Yes, hit that like button, guys. Do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're going to head on down here. We could go sus. Sus could be nice. We could go and check it out. The issue with sus that I have is going to be the loot sometimes. You know, sometimes you land at sus, sometimes you land at these POIs, and there's just not a lot of loot there. You know, and especially if you guys are playing in duos, trios, or squads, this can be something that's really, really damaging or damning for a lot of players. Alright, we do actually have the opportunity here to go for a Daniel drop. So shout out to Daniel, 21 games. Another long-time viewer of ours, guys. Alright, but he has shown us time and time again that there's actually going to be some really interesting, entertaining strategies. Alright, beautiful. We'll go and grab that. A couple of pizzas, guys, for the road. And we're going to try our luck out here for maybe, very well potentially, right, a mythic brute nemesis. Right, the super golden Nemi. So, taking our car, we'll go and drive it up around to this ramp. There's going to be different places around the map, guys, where you're actually able to get mythic guns. Just want to make sure that we've got the main rifle out there. Take this ramp, guys. Heading on up here. We'll go and take it. Alright, beautiful. We aren't going to get the mythic nemesis, but you know what? We are going to have a bit of action here. Not too sure where that player went, but I did see some footsteps, which is making me a little rather nervous, actually. Right, it's going to be the golden there for the Rift rifle, which could be quite good to get. We are going to get the pistol, however, in a green variant, which is definitely going to be better than nothing. But honestly, I feel like the green pistol is one of, again, the most underrated weapons in the game right here. Alright, we've got some action around the bends here, guys. So, rotating up and over. Alright, there we go. Snapping our camera up to our weaker defended area, which is going to include, at that high ground on the hill, we can now scout out around to this lower ground area, trying to see, can we find any players here? Can we find any action? And if so, where should we position ourselves to be able to take them off guard? Right, our nemesis, Gamer Brybra, one of our viewers, guys. Let's see if we'll be able to send Brybra back to the lobby. I don't like that we don't have a shotgun here. But I tell you, sometimes you guys can use that bloom of the lower rarity pistols to your advantage there. And you don't even need to necessarily be accurate with it. Sometimes everything will just work out completely in your favor. Alright, we can buy a pistol here for 50. I'm going to do the math inside. 20 to blue, 20 to purple, 20 to gold. That is going to be cheaper. Alright, then just try and upgrade it. So, why not? We'll go and bite that bullet, guys. I do love the golden pistol. Alright, Drifter says, yes, it can definitely be bad in endgame, but with explosives and deploying in a different direction helps a bit. The zipline with gloves is a good combo. Action Jackson says gloves and overdrive grenades for him. Fair play. That is probably my favorite combination right now. So, we get the refueling up there. We've got some gold, but we don't have enough for these splashes. And I do like going to these vending machines just in case. Just in case, guys, I like to go and check them out. And I like to check them out because, one, we can see we've got a assault rifle vending machine there. So, if we did need some form of medium bullets, we know where to go. Then additionally, you've also got, I want to check, do we have, alright, a splash vending machine here? And we do. We've got 2 splash vending machines there. So really, really good stuff. We grab the gold, we grab the ammo. Alright, now ideally, we've got a, okay, we could get the golden twins there, which would be really, really nice. We've got some bunks here as well. I'm going to go and grab the bunks instead of the recon scanner. I think the recon scanner is absolutely brilliant. Definitely something that can help, especially in squads and trios, etc. Like, this is really, really good to have someone on your team, guys, to be able to use that, to be able to, try and get some locations, get some intel on the enemies in the other lobbies there. So, really, really helpful. And of course, as we mentioned at the start of the stream, guys, we are going to have, of course, the couple of cars at the front here, which I only really just figured out. This is how you get that mythic SMG. Right, you and a friend hop in each seat. Alright, 2 cars at once. You wait for the sound and the lights. You race each other to the end, and you will, similarly to the ramp and the other ways you can get mythics in the game, you're actually going to get that chance for a mythic item and or a guaranteed legendary item. So, a lot of potential there, guys. Alright, we're going to be using these fishing spots to our advantage as well. Driving out of the car to break them, and I'm parking my car in a way so that we can just quickly jump out of there. Someone flying on down around us. Some shots as well over to the left. Reload one last time. I'm going to try and rush this player simply because they do have those mythic gloves, and I would really prefer to not have to go up against them late game. Managing to steal a bit of a seat in the car there. Some cars you'll be able to actually shoot out the leader from the car. Someone down to the left side there. A miracle he's managed to get away so far. Use that cliff as a little bit of cover there. We're also going to be able to grab some quick and easy heals from the slurp truck. Well played to those two players. Alright, we do have those mythic gloves there as well as some more ammunition in gold. We can now head back on over, guys, to our fishing spot, or additionally, those gloves down there? No. We could also probably just go over towards these other car spawns and try and grab those instead. Alright, there's no real reason we need to be sort of sitting here in a car that is rather easily explodable. Alright, he's got that hill up to his advantage there, but again, guys, we don't have a whole lot of mobility here. I'm sort of lacking in the glove department, so I would love to be able to get him. Lane Rhodes. Oh, well played to Lane. I know Lane. He's an absolutely fantastic player. He plagues my my duo games with my duo. He's gotten us quite a few times there. So I'll have to show this to my duo partner later on in the day, guys, because they're going to love that. But well played to him, guys. All right, we go for the shield up here. We're using the cover. I'm checking the big giant diamond up there, looking down at us, because that will look towards the closest player towards it. So there we go. We've got some shockwaves here as well for the taking, but we're not going to need it. All right, we're already fully stacked up here, so let us go now. We'll rotate on into zone. We'll go and try and find another vehicle. All right, see what we can do. I want to be on foot as well, just because sometimes it can get a little bit repetitive, you know, being in a car all the time. Pistol is so good, great vegetable, says. Drifter says, yeah, it definitely can be bad. Oh. Drifter says, yeah, it definitely can be bad in endgame. Oh, yes, we've already read that. So, hey, but I'm getting into PC building and was curious, what specs do you run in your PC? I'll bring it up in a second. I'll go into a building here, but I think it's performance mode, and then most things are on high. I think item rendering is a little bit lower because for me, I just like to, of course, use the marking button there to be able to see, you know, where these items are, what type of items they are. But of course, let's go inside safety there. We'll quickly open that up. All right, let's have a quick little look here, guys. Hiding in the side of the building. We'll bring this up. Right, there we go. What have we got in video? What have we... Texture's high, view distance is epic, guys, and then of course performance mode for everything else. The reason why I do enjoy to run that performance mode is going to be because we're actually able to not see grass, which is actually a really, really beneficial thing there. And I feel like that's definitely a strategy that can help a lot of players get that extra edge in the game. Is if, for example, if we're trying to shoot people up on top of these hills here, there will typically be a lot of foliage and a lot of grass that can actually hide some players. Alright, but with this off, I can actually see players hiding behind the sides of those hills there. Like, for example, if I hop in this car right now, I'll show you what I mean. Samuel L. X. Jerome there. Old mate on the hill, potentially. We're just going to get on out of that fight there. Of course, he's probably going to be able to blow us up. Couple of pizza for quick and easy heals. Alright, we do know that there is going to be the pizza shop as well around the bend here, guys. Again, we're not going to be all too flustered by this. We are going to try and be quite calm about this. Very decent player there, Samuel. Go over towards, of course, this vending machine. Again, distance here, guys. We are out of uses with my gloves, which is a little bit disappointing. And now we're getting third-partied. Well played to Samuel. That's a... what a intense player there. Gamer Bri getting the revenge for us. Thank you, Gamer Bri, bruh. Appreciate you, bro. Good on him. All right. It's going to get a little bit of damage there, of course, from over to yonder. All right. Well, how many players are left in the lobby? 6 here. I hope you win this one, Bri. I almost want to spectate, Bri. Bri was actually the very first player we ever spectated here. We did a spectate the players series. Right, we started this, of course, sometime last year. And they were, of course, a really, really fun to watch player. I believe in their highest they did reach Unreal rank. Playing all the way, of course, from, I believe, America. Alright, Bri is. So, going down, of course, into this tunnel system, guys. We're going to be able to get some heals there. As well as have the teleporting locations on the other ends. Nice try, Jackson says. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. Sometimes we'll get them, sometimes we won't, but that's okay. You know, it's all about having fun. It's about trying to sort of maximize there. Alright, the other sort of attributes or different skills and traits. Alright, try to practice different strategies and really just get in that flow of, you know, thinking, how can I become a better player? You know, to be able to have more fun and more games. So we've got someone over outside in the zone here. We've got YOLO Robo 13, of course, making their way in. We've got Bri, of course, downside. All right, over near Sus, but of course going for this secret little vault room there. Nana says, what server do you play on? I do play on OCE, the Oceania server. Zell said, I think they mean your computer components. That would make sense. I'm running a 4070 Super, 32 gigabyte Super RAM. And I think it is for the CPU, I think we're running the 7800 X3D. It's the X3D, it's not the 9800 one, but it's the 70 something one there for the CPU. So Bri guys coming over here, of course, with that upper glider. GG's, Yuya says, alright, we are going to be finishing up streaming, guys, in 23 minutes, so we'll have enough time for one more game. I just want to see if Bri will be able to send it back for the win here. Of course, some glove-on-glove action there. Absolutely knocking him over into the stratosphere. Of course, the shockwaves coming out. Be careful of the full damage. Taking a little bit there, but nothing too crazy. Alright, Saint Flare X will be going down. Guys, if you have enjoyed this episode, if you've enjoyed the stream, if you want to check out the daily uploads, we do record and upload daily. Hit that like button, you hit that subscribe button. Alright, Bri, of course, getting some decent damage over here, but repositioning with the gloves with, dare I say, finesse. Catching himself with grace there. Well played to Bri. And the Chug coming in clutch, so really good movement mechanics there as well. Now, this is where things are going to get interesting. Bri is going to be on the outskirts of zone. YOLO seemingly wanting to move away from Bri and towards some higher ground there. Which is probably going to be, honestly, the best thing they can do. And the loadout is interesting as well. We've got the iron pump here, as well as that thunder, and then the pistol for the triple gold, which is really, really interesting. Because this is, I mean, look, great. You've got the basically 2 shotgun or close range dominating weapons there. But the pistol will be able to carry you out for that long range. Right, the one downside, guys, to the Thunderburst is going to be that it has a massive amount of damage drop off long range. And then additionally, it's also going to have the 3 bullets that spread out. Which in terms of bloom is going to be rather difficult. Bri going for the rush here. Catching himself a little bit there. He does have some heals, but is he going to take time to use it? Is anyone's guess right now. So there we go, switching to the iron pump. Back and forth again there. I'd be healing up if I was Bri. I think there might be a little bit of tensions there, brother, if you are listening to me right now, but you got this. You can do this. Alright, old mate jumping around to the side here. YOLO has the high ground. Bri going for the big boy. Keeping an eye on him with the camera angle. Again, guys, you don't need to be looking with your head. You can also be looking with your camera angle. So just swiveling around here, trying to see, you know, through the different nooks and crannies of the game there. Alright, YOLO seems absolutely hell-bent on potentially going up to Pride Rock. Bri now going up behind him there. The Nemesis being the weapon of choice. Some decent damage for the long range. The gloves coming out now, separating the gap. Jumping on down, using this nice hill here as cover. He's hugging it tight. Going for the zip line up. He's going to force this fight. The gloves into the fight. He knocks them up, switching to the shotgun. This is the strategy, guys. You glove into the player. You knock them up. The shotgun, but YOLO getting the kill there. Absolutely unfortunate, bro, but good job. I think you did really, really well, all things considered. Sharon says, g'day, g'day, g'day. Really enjoying your commentary and watching your playstyles and explanations, mate. Keep at it. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you. Alright, GG's, guys. Yeah, this ping makes fist swapping impossible. I bet. I'm surprised you could manage it so far. You know, I find myself, you know, struggling on the best of days. So, you did well, bro. Good on ya. Alright, so let us go back to the lobby here. We're going to go play one more game here, guys. Right, we'll finish it off strong. We'll see where we can land. Where should we land? You guys get any POIs of choice? Alright, we'll have a look in the map maybe when we get into a game and then we'll decide. But let me know down below in the comments, guys, right now, where is your favorite place to land? Action says, if I may ask, do you work outside of streaming and creating content? Apologies if you've answered this question in the past. It's a really good question, actually. Look, I do a little bit of trading, a little bit of day trading on the side. And so my other time, guys, is mostly spent on doing some dev stuff with coding for some games. And then, of course, this more YouTube little side hustle. So it's been a pretty fun journey. It's been really, really interesting and definitely enjoyable to get the hang of and learn. And I mean, I'm learning every day with it. You know, there's always going to be something new and something else. But whatever the case, really, really exciting stuff. Nana says, this is so fun to watch. Zed says, tilted towers. Drifter says, squibbly. Charlie says, squibbly. Look, we could do squibbly. Squibbly's within the realms of possibility. Bit of a water break there, because I tell you, we've been doing this commentating for coming up to, what is that? Nearly 3 hours now. So, of course, I do all my videos, guys, pretty early in the morning, but whatever the case, we do have G's Up being the bus driver. We're at Squibbly, dead ahead. Can we do it? Hit that like button if you are excited. This will be the very last game for the stream. So we're going to see if we can send it back for a win. I'm not too sure if anyone has been keeping count. I think we are 2 for 4 at the moment. Potentially 2 for 4. I could be wrong there. Alright, so heading on down now, guys. In terms of landing at Squibbly, you've got a really good place you can land, which is going to be the far side of it, over at this sort of main power plant looking building with those steam stacks. Alright, this is where you're going to have all those shields waiting for you on the conveyor belt. Right, you've got also the highest ground or positioning in Squibbly. But of course, because of how sort of juicy this is going to look to a lot of players, it does often mean that you're going to be, well, it's going to be a fairly contested spot. So, we've got some twin hammers here. So, landing down on some guns, guys, is going to be absolutely critical here. Just trying to nab these heals because any sort of sustain we can get is going to help us, right? Crouching so as to not give off any of the visual audios there. Now going to be running rather normally. The double twin hammers. You know what? I've seen better loadouts. We will take it. Alright, the Nemesis now. I'm going to drop those old twin hammers. And the reason why I'm dropping them, guys, and not trying to actually use them is because we have expended quite a few bullets in the magazine there. Which means, you know what? We're going to try and conserve our ammunition. We're not going to try and reload that. We've already got a fully reloaded set of twin hammers in our inventory. So we can drop the ones that are not full and thereby maximizing our use of ammunition early game, which is going to be a massive sort of advantage there. YOLO going down there. The winner from last game. Bri, we got some revenge for you, bro. I hope that makes things a little bit sweeter for you, but well played to YOLO there. Right, the pistol, guys, is going to just be absolutely cataclysmic. Alright, if you can time those shots well. So, coming on in there. Try out the pistol and the Nemesis. Drifter says, okay, you know what? We're going to do that. We're going to do that this game. I'm going to hold on to the Iron Pump late game. Just in case, because I tell you what, I am absolutely stubborn at times, and my girlfriend can attest to that. But let's go for some loot there. Going inside, grab some more of these items. I'm going to use this actually as well, because this is going to be a fantastic way to find loot. You know, yes, you're going to be able to find players with this, guys, and it's certainly going to be rather helpful. But additionally, alright, this, is that a zipline deployer we hear outside? Or is it going to be our sort of, you know what, I'm going to go for this bag. And I'm just going to go and take this loot, and we're going to get a move on here. So, grab that. Let's see. Yeah, you know what? We're going to go full send into it, guys. Let's go and try out the drifter strategy here. Why not? You know, why absolutely not? We've got a gold fishing spot here as well. We've got the Nemesis, guys, for the long range. The trick with the Nemesis is you've got to be able to hit the players better. Alright. We do actually have some shocks here. The player behind us, isn't there? Nanny Basher will be getting the kill there. Well played to Nanny, guys. We'll go and start another one. We'll do one more. A little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. It definitely took me by surprise there, but honestly, the better player, I would say. So, nice little emote there. GG's. It'd be cool to see you do some customs for a stream butter. Okay, how does that even work? Do you guys know? How do the custom games work? Is that like team deathmatch? Like, what are we talking there, Bri? Grifter says, I'm too. That's why I've been so persistent in getting you to try the pistol nemesis combo. Fair play. Yep, fair play indeed. Who, what, where says, is there a boss that can drop the mythic pistol? Yes, there is, kind of. You get them from the golden fishing spot. So there's a really, really small chance to fish up a pinpoint mythic pistol. So, Solo says, Battlewood Boulevard. Alright, who, what, where says, but alive, how fun. 2 of 4. Okay, 2 for 4. So what are we now? 2 for 5. I think there was a bug in OG today. I had over 800 AR bullets in one game, Solo says. That is crazy, actually. It'd be cool to see you do some customs. Okay, I guess the pistol nemesis combo didn't work for you. Oh, look, I feel like it can definitely work, you know. I've definitely been a little bit out of my groove with the nemesis there, which is probably going to make me absolutely a, well, a little bit below average contender for the best nemesis player position. But I definitely feel like the strategy itself is quite sound. You know, so taking some time, of course, to use that top firing with the nemesis is going to be able to play really, really into your hand there. And then to have that close range ability with the pistol is just, you know, night and day in terms of just the severe potential, you know, that can have for a lot of players. CC says, can everybody start hyping this channel so he'll give us more? Thanks, CC. Old Ben Map says you need a creator code to do custom games, I think. Is that different? I know there's 2 different kinds of creator codes. I've got the creator code for the store. I don't know if I've got one for the custom games. I was speaking to the FORTNITE support the other day, and they were speaking about which creator code I had. Nana says, your aim is almost perfect. I miss more than hit, lol. Fair play. It's like that. You should see me some games, Nana. I tell you, my duo definitely gives me a fair few mouthfuls of words there sometimes when I'm not on my A game, but Gamer Bryce says he does. Alright guys, let's see, what do we got? We're going to end this game. Adderwood is really nice. It's a really nice place to land. I love it. I feel like I'm probably the minority here when I say this. It's on the south side of map. But guys, it's close to Ripped. It's close to Humble. The person who goes Ripped and gets that mythic, you know, you can kind of catch them off guard as well. And you can sort of focus them, you know, if you know where to look. Especially if you guys can get a nicely timed or just good luck sort of rivalry there. Maybe you could get that player there. So, he only locks in solos. Holy knows that all too well. We did some custom squad games with viewers the other day. Last weekly stream. I'm pretty sure I anchored that game, so I definitely feel like some games are going to be better than others. This is where you guys, you're going to get that mythic revolver from. So you are looking for it. Look for that NPC there. Grab that boss, and she is going to be able to drop that if you guys can kill her. Alright, going for the chest right now. We do get the purple pistol off a drop. And I feel like this is a sign, guys. Getting a really good pistol off drop there. A rare chest as well for the taking. You know, I'm feeling quite hopeful. So, got a couple items there. As well as, actually, I'm going to run the pistol for the shotgun. And we might as well run the Thunderburst as well, just for the meantime. And we'll see if that decides to treat us any better. At least until we can find a nice iron pump there. So, speak of the devil, and it shall appear. It was fun whilst it lasted. Alright, we're going to have another big boy up ahead. But then additionally, we've got these vending machines. And then we've also got those barrels up here, which can make Sus Studios pretty good for solos. But with the somewhat RNG of, you know, the way that this loot spawns at times, you know, it's going to be a little bit trickier sometimes, and most certainly in those squad games or even duos. So, not a place I would be landing, guys, in my duos. At least my duo will never let me, but going for the ammunition there. Alright, we also will have some more barrels at the front. No car spawn this game, but that's not too bad. Alright, we can actually go for some quick upgrades there. We're going to have a splash vending machine as well, so... Nana says, oh, I just laugh. I find it very funny. Good on you. That's honestly the way to go about it. I feel too many people get all too caught up in the seriousness of the game at times. Which is fine. Like, I'm not going to pretend like I don't as well at times. Everyone's human, but yeah, I totally get it. You know, I just feel like trying to work on mindfulness is going to be within all of our best interests, right? And trying to ensure that we're trying to have fun, that we're trying to go, you know what? That player got the kill there. Imagine what it's like to be them. You know, to get that kill. That must feel pretty special. Alright, we do have our rivalry contract out in the field there. Grab that ammunition, and then we'll go and make our way down. I'm going to move our shockwaves just over like so. Alright, we've got some more light bullets down here, guys, as well as some shotgun, which was honestly most needed. Alright, and there we go. We can go and grab this here. Nana says, it's a game. Games are meant for fun, and I have fun. Well, that's perfect then. You can't complain about that, can you? I tell you, many times I've tried, and it never seems to go too well. So, we will, of course, have this Flowberry Mist. I'm going to use that as mobility to be able to get us in and around this POI a lot quicker. Alright. Of course, no reboot vans, guys, in solo. Some players might find that a little bit different, but you know what? There we go. It's going to pay off. We're going to get those gloves here. And we're going to send this last game off for the day, guys, strong. Alright, so making our way here, we do, of course, have someone on top of the mountain there. I'm pretty sure they saw me. At the very least, they saw me open the door. They are still there. You can see them for a little moment there. Little speck. Alright, I'm going to try and go around to the long side here. And we're going to try and go up to them eventually. I do see Holy is in the game here, so shout out to Holy. Wes McKean, the spouse would like me not to have fun at 3 a.m. Great Vegetable says, I love playing with my friends. It can be frustrating depending on what lobby you end up in, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. Good on you, great. Alright guys, so we do of course have not a shotgun vending machine here, but we do actually even have enough gold to buy some of those splashes if we tried. I want to go for this player though, because they have that high ground and it looks like they're getting into a bit of action here. So we're going to go make our way up the side of the mountain here, guys. We're going to try and grab this positional advantage. Alright, we'll see what type of mischief we can get up to. Alright, there they are. Taking your time, guys, with the pistol can often be... Another player down there. It can often be your best bet for ensuring you do maximize your overall wins. Alright, I'm going to try and force this, mostly because we are on the outskirts of zone. You know, we don't have that sort of... oh, blue shotgun there is going to be very appreciated. Keeping an eye again on where that player last was. I'm aware that he's over there in the corner. I'm aware that he's on the outskirts zone, which does mean, guys, we want to be positioning ourselves in a place or area where we can really try and just catch him off guard. So crouching now, we're not giving off any visual audios. We've got the high ground on this player. We know he's got to run into us to go to zone. Now, he could take the long way around and go through the mountain way. But I've got a feeling this player is probably going to come. There he is. He's around the other side. So we're going to go and grab the car here. We go and take it, guys. Back over onto the road. There he is. I spot him again. I'm going to go for the low ground temporarily because we're going to be covered from this hill. Not going to be able to shoot at us. Making sure that we're a moving target. Alright, nice damage there. We can try and force some... Probably force this player, to be fair. He is going to be relatively low. We've got a shockwave. Why not use it? Alright. Inside this building? He is going to be inside. Shockwave back out. Car in the front car park lot there. We're going to go and do the old triple R here, guys. Why? Because our overshield is down and our shield is down too. So, when in doubt, triple R, reposition to somewhere safe, reload your guns, and of course, reset your shields. Alright, we'll go stop by the server. We'll go and heal up. We'll go and get some heals as well from the vending machine now that we should have a little bit more gold. But you should actually have just enough now for some splashes. Got some more shockwaves there for the taking, as well as some chest gold. Very, very nice. Do you have your weapon slots assigned? I do. I've got my assault rifle to second and shotgun for... it's not a mistake in there. Guys, I've got my assault rifle to second, and I think shotgun is to my first slot. But now that I've been running the pistol, I'm, of course, going to be a little bit awkward there when it comes to picking up a pistol. Don't often see you spend your rivalry credits upgrading weapons or buying exotics. Sharon says, is that deliberate? Yeah, it is. It's a bit of a personal choice. I'm trying to conserve my overall amount of credits there, mostly for like special episodes for you guys. So sometimes I, for example, this week have been saving up those rivalry credits for this stream so that, you know, I can buy some better weapons there. Try and just get a bit of an advantage to give you guys a little bit more focus in terms of some footage. Alright, we will need to, of course, finish off this last player there. Alright, bunch of loot, of course, waiting. And we've got some high ground on top of that mountain up top there, which I do want to try and capture, guys, because we have learned all too many times, sadly, way too often, right, that having the low ground at Wonky is arguably, or inarguably, should we say, one of the most difficult positions to play off. A little bit unfortunate there, but whatever the case, we can make our way over towards this vending machine. Alright, and we'll see our luck. Do we get splashes? No, we don't. Alright, we do have the Wonky game that we could play as well, to be able to actually get some really nice legendary or purple weapons there. But right now I'm quite happy, guys, with what we're sort of sitting with. You know, a better sort of shotgun would be rather nice, but you know, guys, we are in this top 8 here, so grab another car and we'll go head up to high ground, and we're going to see if we can end this stream with a nice win for you guys. Texas Farm Boy says, bro, do a 360 no scope. True. That could be fun. That could be nice. We've got some nice mountain high ground up there, but of course we're running with the pistols, so not entirely too sure we'd have much luck there. But hey, look, it's going to be gold, so that pistol is probably going to be the only pistol, the best pistol for the job. Trying to get that damage long range here. I just really want to try and find some splashes. Alright, now we're cooking with oil, guys. Alright, we've got our splashes here. The mission objective is achieved. Alright, let's see. You missed the splashes, Drifter says. Did I really? I totally believe that. We're going upgrade for the very last episode, guys. There we go. Alright, double gold everything here. Eat U40's in the game. We know Eat U40. They are a very, very decent player. I'm going to go for high ground here. Less so for sniping, but more so trying to spot out these last players. And I'll show you my favorite spot. This is my favorite spot right here. You're right. You have a nice little peak here, which also allows you to spot out and have Overwatch on Wonky, whilst having your back fully protected from the high ground that is going to be frigid. Alright, so you can play off this with your duo and squads as well by having one player situated up top here. A lot of players will tend to be on that mountain over to yonder. So again, we're going to be mindful of that. Alright, we've also got this launch pad here, guys, and then that rift just down below there. So you can, of course, take this car here. Be careful taking it around, because if you think you're going to have a rather quick visit to the other side of this mountain, you will in fact be wrong. Alright, you're going to come up against this little crevice here, and you'll actually have to go around the long way. So I learned that, of course, in a previous episode, I believe last week or the week before, which isn't going to be the best thing in the world, but whatever the case here, this is going to be the best place to go. Alright, we'll go and free fuel it here, and that zone will be moving in 56 seconds. So Juice DFWXY, that's what I get for trying to read chat, is going to be in the game there. I wonder if Holy is still in the game. That's going to be really interesting to see. Alright, there we are. We'll go back up around to the bends here. Trying to capture Frigid could also be within our best interest. It really depends, you know, on the type of players that we've got in this game that are left. You know, do we have a lot of sweats? Do we have a lot of rats? Do we have a lot of players who are playing around high ground and positioning? Are they being stealthy? Alright, so we've got some action over here. We should have gloves as well. We can use these to get up top here. And now we can use this section of Frigid to be able to scout out some more players a little bit closer to zone. Alright, so we do have a player just over there that having a bit of a fight. Eat for you. Now, if he does want to show his head again, I'll try and go for that. 20 meters away is that? Alright, I don't think we're going to nail anything there, guys. At least to a coffin anytime soon. Alright, we're going to check our back, guys, because we have just shot out a lot of shots there. So I want to be cautious, because a lot of players will have those visual audios enabled, which does mean that they can see these shots for about 200 to 250 meters away. Alright, so I myself like to hunt these sorts of shots. Alright, I kind of want to go down and leave this high ground to go for that player, but at the same time, I just want to see where this zone goes. Right, we don't necessarily need to be trying to rush and sort of focus these guys. Yeah, we can actually just play it a little bit safer. Alright, try and analyze, try and identify where all these players are, and then play accordingly. Right, so what is a sweat? Nana says they hot. So a sweat is going to be, of course, guys, a sweat is going to be a player who is really, really good at the game. You know, they've got really, really, dare I say, gross movement. These are players who are running around like a really fast-hitted ping pong ball across the table. Left, right, up, and down. They are going really, really quick to all sorts of different areas. And these players can be rather good at the game. So they will often have really good aim as well. Typically, of course, your like more sort of premium or ultra sweats, should we say, are going to be the ones or types of players who chase you across the map. Alright, even though you've taken 2 rifts and another portal, you know, and so trying to, I think we might have some company here behind us. Alright, we are getting shot at from the side there. I think someone shot at the car for a moment. Can't quite tell though. I'm trying to use my camera angle again to be able to see, you know, where are these last few players, but with the zone moving, that was absolutely diabolical on my part. I trying to catch myself on a windshield there. Alright, we should have some heals down below here, guys. We'll go for these bandages. Everything will be fine. Everything's going to be okay. The zone, of course, moving in 3 seconds, so we'll try our luck for a med kit. I tell you what, sometimes when it rains, it pours. There we go. See if we can't go out to our car now, guys, real quickly. All right, we probably are going to be fighting zone a little bit, though. All right, there we go. Put our pistol back there. Very, very nice. Grifter says, I'm a sweat, but not that kind of sweat. I'm not that great. The butter strategies help, though. Appreciate you, bro. Jerome says, out of curiosity, you seem to prefer the iron pump over the chaos reloader. Any reason? Yeah, there is going to be a main reason for this, and it's simply going to be... Oh, wrong button. Eat you 40 going down there. Well played to you, bro. Go and just grab his items there. Oh. Shockwave out. I'll try and explain that very, very soon, bro. Go for some cover here. Alright, we might be in between a rock and a hard place. This is the last player, I'm pretty sure. Are there any shields? Doesn't seem to be. If we can maximize high ground, we're going to be at a much likelihood of trying to get this win. I'm very comfortable with the guns that I choose. I'm not very comfortable with the Chaos Reloader. So that's my main reason for not going for it. Trying to get some decent damage off on this player here, guys. Coming back around to the side, potentially. No way he got back up there. Got some more shockwaves, though. This is where, guys, strategy is everything. Good damage there. No way he just took that up there. Still up top, actually. Good damage again there, guys. Right, these gloves are going to come in handy. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, what a way to end the game. What a way to end the stream. If you did enjoy that episode, make sure you do hit that like button. You hit that subscribe button. GG's, that was a really good player. A drift skin as well from chapter 1 there. So, well played, guys. That is the iron pump, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I prefer it over the Chaos Reloader. Alright, so yeah, guys, if you did enjoy this stream today, make sure you guys do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We do daily uploads here. If you want us to give that extra support, we do memberships on the channel, right, for some exclusive emojis and other stuff, guys. We also have those super thanks, super chats enabled on everything. So one-time donations are accepted there, but honestly, it's not necessary. All right, your love and support, guys, just checking in is honestly so just incredible to me that you guys actually take time out of your day to pop in and say hi. So thank you so much, guys. You guys have made this an amazing day. So I'll catch you guys next time. Same time, guys. I believe it's 5 p.m. EST. That is 8 a.m. AEST. All right, every Monday for me or Sundays for Americans, guys. I'll see you all then. All right, have an outstanding day to you too, bro. Thanks, Jackson. Appreciate you guys. I'll catch you all next time. Appreciate you, Hannah. Thanks, guys. Righto. Take care. Yanni, yeah.